Hey y'all. Hello, my divine ladies. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you're new here, I will say take a look at the description of my channel so you can have an idea what I talk about. So you're not coming in like stunned or like you have an idea once you click the description. Just for the new ones that are here. But for my regulars, my members especially, thank you so much. So, this is a special title that I feel like I need to address, that I need to talk about. Because the reality is, a lot of us have not been taught the things that I'm going to talk about in this video. A lot of us as single mothers, we're not taught these things, right? Because whatever we learned from our mother, we end up doing the same thing, or probably even worse. Whatever the case is, they're not taught to us. And the best teacher for me has been experience. Okay. So, since that's out the way, because I feel like this is such an important topic, like I said, this is going to really help women who actually, especially like I said, single mothers, because being a single mother, it requires a lot of masculine energy, like a lot of testosterone. It requires that because well, at least that's what we're told, that you know what I mean, because it's like we feel like we have to do everything, right? Everything falls on us. Now we're single mothers, like, and this, let me say this as well. This is also to women who are not married. So if you're not legally married and you have a child, you are a single mother. That's just what it is. Okay. There's some women who are married and single mothers, but my point is the women who are not married, because this is where we could reverse the struggle life that plagues so many single mothers today. Okay. So, number one, and this is really important. I just got to put this out there. Okay. I got to put this out there. My goal is not to offend. My goal is to inspire. Okay. So, I'm just going to put it out there. Number one, this is super duper important. And like, really important. I got to put it out there. Number one, you should not be working. That's number one. If you have a job, you got to cut back or quit immediately. That's number one. And mind you, this is for women who want to embrace her feminine energy. This is for women who want to be, which feminine energy is more in the receiving, be in the receiving mode, understanding like that she herself is the prize. So once a woman has that understanding, boom, we can move forward. But number one, she got to quit her job. She got to quit her job. She got to cut back, whatever the case is, because I know there's a lot of single mothers who got careers, but she got to get to the point where she feels okay accepting government assistance. That's what it's there for, to help you, right? And I know some women will be like, what? Like I said, when you're working, mind you, being a single mother already is a lot of work because, again, everything falls on you. So when you're working on top of that, that is like multiple jobs. Not only do you have to care for the child, you still, on the responsibility, especially if the father is not in the picture, if he's in jail or he passed away or whatever the case is, those are the only time, like whatever. The responsibilities fall on you. So you feel like you got to be doing everything. You feel like you got to do everything, right? So taking care of a child is a full-time job. Whether anybody who wants to disregard you for that, it's a full-time job. It's already work. Taking care of children is not easy. And when you're working, you don't have the ability, you literally are stripping the femininity from you. You're stripping that from you. Because you're already having to take care of a child, or if you have multiple children, that's even, not to say it's worse, but it's more work. And then you work on top of that? No. You're going to drive yourself down, and you're going to get like, it causes anguish, mental stress. It causes mental illness. It causes so much problems. When you don't have your feminine energy, when you're not in your femininity, the testosterone is what's killing women because it's not natural. Our place is in the home. It is not natural to work a job when you have children. It is not natural. It just isn't. I don't know about, America, but in Canada, when you have a child, they pay you to stay home. They pay you. They give you money for your rent. They give you money for, the basic necessities, and they give you money, to take care of your child. And women keep thinking like, oh, well, taking care of a child, with only $1,000, whatever. Let me just throw that out there. $1,000 is not enough. Well, that means you're gonna have to cut back on a lot of things, right? You're gonna have to cut back. Because most of the time when a woman is working, she feels like she got to prove something to somebody else that I'm not lazy. You gave birth. You gave birth. That's like what? You gave birth. That already in itself was work. You gave life. When you have money to get the basic necessities, you're not going to stress to be like, oh, do this, do that. And, oh, I got to pay for this. I got to pay for that. You got to literally cut back on working and accept help. Even if it's the government, it doesn't matter. No one's here to judge you. Nobody can judge you unless somebody is actually giving you money. No one can judge you for wanting to be at home and just take care, of your child, take care of yourself when they're at school, whatever the case is. That's your time for yourself, not to go to work, but time for yourself to get your mind right, to heal yourself. So that's number one. Okay. Number two, you can no longer date men at the same level as you. That's number two. Meaning you can't date men online or from social media. That has a lot to do with femininity because now we're talking about standards. You have to have standards. That's just, you have to have it. When you're taking care of children, that's number one. You got to have standards. So you can no longer date men that are making, if, say you're working, God forbid, Lord Jesus, the same amount of money on you or less. You can no longer date men like that. You can't date men who are even in the same age category as you, because they're going to be looking at you like you're a whole person. You can work yourself, because they are not financially equipped to take on that responsibility. Because a man who's dating a mother, especially a single mother, that comes with responsibility. And if he's not ready for that, it's going to become a very stressful union. So you have to date, hypergamously. You have to date up. You have to date already men who are already financially stable. That way you don't have to worry about thinking like, oh, I got to work, because there's this misconception that you have to struggle or you have to work for somebody else in order to get money. And that's a lie. It's a misconception that they teach, especially onto women, like you got to work for somebody else. You got to always be working. That's it. No matter what. Work, 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 work. You got to go into the workforce. Listen to those words. Workforce. They're forcing you to work. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. It's just unnatural. Okay. So you got to have standards. So one, quit your job, accept whatever help you need. If that means you got to downgrade, maybe move to a smaller place, whatever it means. That way you don't have to stress over paying for anything or paying the things that you need to pay, and you can get help. Do that, because a peace of mind means more than should mean more than you working for somebody else. Your health. Okay. So what I say, number one, quit working. Two, have standards. Three, this is another one. Refrain from spoiling your children. Okay. You like, I'm telling you, this is something that I even had to learn for myself. Because again, we feel single mothers, they put this stigma against single mothers that, they're worthless, they don't deserve to be loved, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to talk about all of that, because we literally have to raise our vibrations for ourselves. We literally have to do that, right? So refraining to spoil your children, this is a big one, because women who work, especially mothers, they feel guilty that they're not around their child. So they feel like they got to compensate by giving more to that child. And the reason why I say you got to refrain from doing that, because a child should not grow up seeing you as the provider, as the giver, as the doer. If you want to give something to your child, make it seem like a guy gave it to you to give to them, or whatever the case is. Don't make it seem like you're the one that's going out of your way to buy something for them. And even then, you're going to start realizing, shoot, I got to pull back. Because the more we spoil children, the more unappreciative they are, the more ungrateful they become. And then they look at us like, oh, mommy, my mom is strong. And that's why you see men who grow up to be, more in their feminine energy, because they've seen their mother in her masculine energy. That's why you see men who don't have a problem with splitting bills or doing things like that, or treating women the same way his mother's been treated. They don't have a problem with doing that because of what they've seen their mother go through. So the more, feminine woman becomes, she'll naturally have her son become more masculine. In other words, and this is, like I said, this is if there's no father at all, like to me, like the man has to be like, it's not in the same country. I don't know, whatever the case is, but she can't spoil the children, because especially when she has a male child, especially, they get used to that. They get used to getting gifts from women. Oh, my mother gave this to me, so you got to do the same thing. Well, my mother works, so you got to do the same thing. Well, my mother gave me money, you got to do the same thing. Well, my mother, they get that habit because you're giving to him. And as a woman, we're receivers. That's what feminine energy is. We're receiving. So the more you give to that child, more you give, he becomes more feminine, because he's receiving. And then he grows up thinking like, women always have to give to him. So you got to cut back on doing that. I know Christmas is coming up. We feel like, oh, you know what? Maybe this year they don't get nothing. Maybe you got to get the gifts to yourself and not feel guilty about it. Like, the more you give, the less you have for yourself. Even children, after the age of 5, they're going to have to learn that, no, like, because you don't want your child getting used to seeing you always giving to them, right? You have to be like, oh, that's what your father's there. Well, my father's not around. Well, I can't do nothing about it. That's not my job. Hey, like, I'm sorry. I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. Mom, can I have some money? No, I don't, I'm like, you're gonna have to ask your father. Even if you have money, you're gonna have to ask your father. Well, I don't have a dad. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but this is my money. Okay. You get the basic necessities are there: food, water, shelter. That's it. And then clothes, whatever the case is. Even then, even with clothes, it's okay to go to the get donations, handy downs. Be like, hey, you know somebody who has an older child, you don't mind pushing that, give me some of the clothes, whatever. But either way, they need to see that you are able to be in your feminine energy. So you have to refrain from spoiling children because it doesn't teach them to be appreciative. They're always going to have the handout, especially male children. You spoil male children, it's worse. Female children, they need to see a man spoiling you. So they know, like, hey, this is what it is. My mother is receiving. My mother's at home. It's so important for us as mothers to be home with the children because they grow up, they have more structure, they're more happier. They know that whatever emotional support that they need, they can come home and find that from their mother. So they're not out there looking it from somebody else. They're not out there trying to join a gang. They're out there trying to join, anything else or find themselves with toxic friends. Okay. Number 4. Hey, baby queen, how you doing, boo? Number 4. Turn your room into a sanctuary. So the children are not allowed in your room. This is like, if they want to come and sleep with you, fine. But in the meantime, you want that room, like, just turn your room into a sanctuary to the point where you feel so comfortable being in your room and you're not always in each other's energy and space and watching what that child's doing, whatever they do. Don't even, like, sometimes as a mother, it's hard not to nag a child and be like, hey, did you clean up? Hey, did you do your homework? Did you do this? Did you do that? Blah, blah. When we step back and let them do what they need to do, they will learn how to cook for themselves. They will learn how to do the things that they need to do when you step back. So turning your room into a sanctuary, that's where you're going to be in. You're going to close the door when they need to get a hold of you. Yes, mom. You don't just walk in. Excuse me. Oh, mom, where's this? Da, da, da. They'll figure it out. There's no need for you to always be behind them. Like I said, after the age of 5, they're going to have to start learning these things. You drop them off or whatever, or you want to be at home with them. Either way, they're going to have to learn how to do these things. That's how experience molds leaders. That's what it does. Experience molds leaders. So the more they start learning how to do something, they'll be, okay, I don't really need mom for this. I can do this. I can do this myself. I could, do this myself. They got to learn. So you turning into your room into a sanctuary is a room for yourself, your space. Always have it organized, cleaned. Like you feel, like I said, a sanctuary. When you think of a sanctuary, you think of something that just makes it feel nice. You feel, everybody wants to come into your room. They're wondering what's going on. Like you just close the door and you're just doing you. Your children don't need to see you working. They don't need to see that. They need to see you resting as much as they need to see that. They need to see that resting. And naturally, they'll take an initiative for themselves to be like, you know what? Let me help her out. Because if they want to come into the room, be like, well, I would let you in my room, but, you're not really trying to help me out. And they'll be like, what do you mean? I'm not trying to help you out. I said, well, shoot. The place, how does the place look? Is the place clean? It's not like they don't know where things have to go. And they'll be like, well, no. I said, well, okay, so then you can't come in my room. And then they don't like being left out. Children, they don't like being left out. You on the phone, they want to be like, hey, that's when they want to talk to you. So your room is going to be for you. You're going to close the door and you're just going to just mind your business. And if the child will naturally want to clean up. The child will want to help. The child want to do things to make, that way he can be like, oh, or she can be like, I'm done. I didn't make a mess. It will teach them things when you just, whatever, leave them, just leave them in the room, whatever. They'll figure it out. As long as you're not doing, as long as it's a child that doesn't physically, need you, or mentally, like, they're not suffering from some type of mental illness or whatever the case is. This is the best way for children to learn how to be independent. Is just you just stepping back. Okay. You said, yeah, this is true. Masculine moms make feminine boys. I've seen it firsthand, my brother. Yes, absolutely. I same with mine. Where is it my list? So number 5, cut back on expenses so there's less stress. I think I mentioned that at number 1, but just to go back on that again, cut back on expenses. Like, if there's things that, because, and this is another thing too, right? Single mothers, they feel the need to, like, put their child in extra, activities or whatever the case is. If it's not free, then you should can find a way to get a program or something that, and if they really want to go, they're gonna do it themselves. But don't force a child to do an activity because you feel like, hey, they'll be a star one day. They'll be a star one day, and this will help them get there. It's just, I'm telling you, in order to embrace your feminine energy, you got to cut back on so many things so there's less stress. Again, that goes back to being a provider. If they want something, then hey, the father. Always refrain back to the father. That's it. Always refrain back to them. Honestly, I can't remember what numbers I'm at, but I'm just gonna just read it out. Whatever. You see, yeah, them boys need to cut grass, shovel snow, wash cars for some money, not asking a woman for money, not even their mother. Exactly. I don't give my son money. I stopped giving the children money. I just stopped giving it to them because it's like I said, it's me being the provider energy. It's like, I'm sorry, but I'm working. That money's for you. Their child's not going to end up hating you because you don't do something for them. And if they do, well, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't please everybody, not even your children. So what's the point, right? There's just focus on you. Okay. When you cut back on expenses, there's no stress. If there's a car, know that you're paying like, $400, $500, $600 out of pocket, and you're feeling like, oh man, then I guess you're just not gonna have, you're gonna have to find ways to either manifest the type of fund that you need to pay it off. But if it's stressing you out, then you're gonna have to cut it off, because the goal is for, anytime there's resistance, you're pushing back. That's what resistance does. You're pushing back. You're going against the grain. It's not natural. So when there's resistance with something, it's not meant. Okay. So you got to start living minimally, not feeling the need that you have like you need to keep up with the Joneses. You need to show yeah, I may be a single mother, but I have this, and this and that. Like, you want, it's just, there's no point of doing that. Because again, when a woman is in her masculine energy, she feels like she got to prove something. She's going to have to show off. She's going to have to, she's just doing the most. She's doing the most. Right? She's doing the most. And when you want to embrace your feminine energy, you start taking a lot better care of yourself. Mental health is wealth. I'm telling you that right now. Mental health is wealth. When your mental health is on up to par, you naturally attract wealth. When your mental health is declining, you attract struggle. So getting your mind right is a good way of not feeling the need to impress other people. Okay? That's just, you don't have to impress nobody. I don't know what number this is, but I'm just going to go for it anyways. I I think I'm a number 9, but whatever. Let the fathers do the work. Let the children ask the fathers, not you. You don't need to say anything. Let the child, if the child wants something, let that child ask the father. Call the child, give the phone to the child so that way it's not like, oh, you're asking for something because, mind you, especially when you're a single mother, you more likely may have attracted a man who was a narcissist, whatever the case is, because you yourself were one, right? Like attracts like. That's just what it is. A masculine woman will naturally attract a feminine man, and a feminine woman will attract the masculine man. That's just what it is. So letting the fathers handle that, just be like, hey, I don't have it. Ask your father. Ask your father. Here's his number. And you have to refrain from arguing with them. That's number 10. Don't argue, don't complain, don't fight with anyone. There is no point of doing that, because anytime you do that, you're not raising your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, you could naturally embrace your femininity. And raising your vibration, when you're having standards, when you're pouring that love into yourself, when you're treating yourself like the prize, when you're doing that for yourself, your vibration naturally increases. And when there's people who are not in your vibration, naturally, they will either disappear without you even having to cut them off or do anything. I remember when I met this single mother, I was trying to tell her these things and nothing was going through, right? It was like, but then I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? She didn't ask for help, right? She didn't ask for it. So there's not really, much for me to say to her. She's going to have her own experience. But one thing I did was, she kept trying to be like, oh, this man is this man is that, and it's his fault and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you can't blame anyone else for your problems. You can't blame anybody else for your problems. You got to take responsibility. I should have put that as number 1. Take responsibility. You can't blame any man out there for being a single mother. You cannot blame them. The moment a woman blames a man for being a single mother, she's not taking responsibility for why she became one. She didn't understand having standards or self-love. That's the most important thing. That women, especially women who are in their, single mothers, they lack a lot of that. So they're out there searching for it. They go on dating sites, they go on social media, and then they put all their business out there. They want to, hey, I'm not a gold digger. I'm not looking for a man with money. But that's the thing. As a single mother, that's the only type of man you can date. It's financially stable men. You can no longer date a man who's working a job at Costco. You can't date men, who are not making money like that, who are not bosses, because they're not going to be in their confident energy. Their vibration is going to be low. You no longer can date at a regular level. So not arguing, not complaining or fighting with anyone, that's something that will really help you have a peace of mind. You cannot put yourself in the energy where you got to fight or have any disagreements or anything, even paying attention to maybe channels that do that, channels who are only, focus on negativity. You can't afford anything like that when you want to raise your vibration. You can't afford it. You can't afford being around people who complain like that, or trauma bonding with somebody else. Like, oh, we're both single mothers. Let's trauma bond together. Let's go club hopping. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. When you naturally start raising your vibration, you don't even have to cut off that toxic friend. They will disappear on their own because they no longer can relate to you. You don't always have to be out searching for someone to love you more than you love yourself. We can't even expect our children to. You start learning how to carry yourself the way you want to be treated. If you want to be, you know, married to a wealthy man or whatever the case is, how would that look like? How would you dress? If you were dressed to a man that had money, how would you dress? Would you walk around with booty shorts or your breasts hanging out with almost your nipples showing, or not walk around without a bra? You would dress more modest, more like you care about your appearance, like you take care of yourself. Not feeling the need to tell everybody your business, especially men when you're dating. They don't need to know right away you have children. You need to get to know the man first, because some men naturally date single mothers because they want to, get to their children. And single mothers are more vulnerable because she's craving for love. She's craving for acceptance. She's craving to be valued. She feels like, oh, I got to go back to school. I got to do something with my life. Like you had a child. I don't care what anybody says. That's enough. That is enough. Even if your children's father be like, oh, are you going to work? You can't expect me to give you money. I'm like, I don't need you to give me money. The money is for your child. But if you don't want to give it to them, then that's on them. But you can't be the one doing it. Oh, well, since the father's not around, I got to be the man. I got to be the father. I got to be the doctor. I got to be the driver. I got to be everything. No. Even there is a trend where women were saying happy Father's Day to women. What? That's masculine. I remember this was like a couple of years ago. Not I want to say a couple. This was a few years ago. I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. This single mother, because a lot of them tend to be very bitter because they don't know how to let go of the past. When she's unhappy, when she's bitter, when she's scorned, she doesn't know how to let go of the past. I don't know about y'all, but the moment, 12 o'clock hits, midnight hits, it's a new day. So whatever happened yesterday, it don't matter anymore. It's the past. This is a new day. Once midnight hits, this is a new day. Once the calendar changes, this is a new day. You can't focus on things in the past anymore. You can't hold on to them because it does you no good. You even got to the point where you got to even, get off of social media because you find yourself comparing your life to other mothers who post and brag about their children. And I'm telling you right now, women who do that, they're exposing their children. They're not protecting them. Those are women who are in their masculine energy. Like, I'm sorry, but like when you're a single mother, protecting your child is number one. Getting them off of social media, removing their pictures off of social media. No one needs to know that you're taking care of children by yourself. Nobody needs to know that. They don't need to be exposed out there like that. They don't need to be exposed. Women constantly, when they don't know better, they will put their children out there, be like, oh, look at my child. My child's so cute. And I'm doing all the work to take care of my child, to give my child this looking like, look at my child. My child looks rich. Look at my child. And they try to make money off their child. Right? So when you're starting to learn to become more feminine, you realize you limit the time that you need to be on social media. You only date generous men, not potential. That's the only type of men that you could date is generous men. Not feeling any ways when somebody wants to give. They're not saying, oh, no, I don't want to receive it just in case. He may throw it in my face. And, it's not going to make me feel bad. If this man gives me $10,000 and he tries to be like, oh, I helped you. Remember that time I gave you $10,000? Like, that's not, I can't feel bad about that. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't even say you want to borrow money. I'm telling you right now, when you raise your vibration, when you believe, sometimes women think, oh, I got to see it to believe it. No, you got to believe it to see it. You got to believe that you have the potential, the ability to attract however much money you need, the type of provider that you, whatever that you want. You got to believe that you can attract that. Meditation is such a powerful way for us to tune into our higher self, because we already know, our higher self already knows what we want. We already know that. So you learn to accept help from whatever source, whether it be the father, whether it be from your brother, whether it be from your own dad, any male. When they say, do you need something? Yeah, well, hey, well, actually I do. I need help with this. I need help with that. Do you mind, helping me with this? When you're in a receiving mode, naturally, it will start to increase more estrogen, and you start learning how to embrace your feminine energy by saying, yes, thank you. And no, when it don't feel good. You don't want something, no. But I'm telling you, when you're in receiving mode, when your vibration is high, you naturally attract money. Naturally. It could be, I'm telling you, y'all, sometimes it'll be random days. I wouldn't just be minding my own business, and somebody would hit me up and be like, hey, I thought of you. You know what? I just wanted to give you my little token of appreciation. Out of nowhere. I'd be like, what? You know how many times that happens? Because my vibration, I literally just be in a vibration of being appreciative of what I have, not feeling the need to prove anything. It feels good that I can sleep 10 hours a night. It feels good. Not feeling the need that I got to, go above and beyond. And sometimes we feel like we can't believe those things because of the people we talk to. You would talk to, it could be a mother, it could be your, a sister, it could be a friend. If they're not in the same vibration as you, they're not going to understand where you're coming from. Sometimes you have people in your life that distracts you from your actual goal. And if your goal is to marry up, to not ever have to work a day in your life again, embracing your feminine energy is the only way to go about that. That's the only way. Women keep thinking like, thank you, baby queen. Same here. God is good. God is good always. You know how they always said, God is good. And what was that saying in church? Used to say that back in the days. God is always. Anyways, that's just what it is. When you appreciate your life as a woman, especially as a mother, oh my God, you don't know how easy your life could become the moment you shift your mindset. I was gonna say a story, like I lost my train of thought. But anyways, just when you hear, the best thing to raise your vibration is to find something to be happy about. Not someone, something. Be your own happiness. You have to. You have to be your own happiness. Not a dog, not a cat, not an animal, none of that. That to me, that shows that. And I know a lot of women feel that, oh my God, I seen this the other day. I seen a single mother and she barely had enough money to buy dog food. And I was like, what? That's struggling. Man, I donate that dog. Put that dog, that animal on Kijiji and donate it. That's what I say. Because you when you clutch to an animal for emotional support, I'm telling you, it just looks somehow. You look emotionally unstable. And it's not to judge, but that's what it comes off as. This is somebody who emotionally is unstable, that they need to rely on an animal to make them feel good. I need a dog, I need a cat, I need something. I'm sorry, but I just like, I'm telling you, the moment I started raising my vibration, and I used to have a cat. A Bengal. I donated him for free. I sure did. I put him on Kijiji and said, it's a free cat. He's this many, this is what it is. Even though I paid way more for him, but I was like, even my girl was like, just donate it. Don't matter. And the fact that a cat can be provided for. This woman drove across town to provide for this cat. What makes you think a woman can't be provided for? Especially a single mother, can't be provided for. Animals are getting provided for every day. So sometimes you're gonna have to cut back. If having a dog is being a little expensive, but you're like, oh no, I love him or whatever, it's an illusion. You love the security the false security you think you're getting from an animal that you feel like you got to cling on to. No, it's not real. The children will get over it. The children don't even think about it anymore. They don't think about Halo. Halo was just like, he was there and he was gone. That was it. No problem. I told my daughter, here, I'll give you this money to get rid of him, and I knew that was what would help her get over him. Because she was like, oh, you know how much you paid for him? I said, I know. I paid for him. Remember, I did. Not you. So, yeah. She got her change. Let me tell you, she did not hesitate. Halo was gone. He was gone. That was it. He was around for like 3 years. No, not 3 years. 2 years. But it's like, anyways. Like, just being home is a lot better. And if you don't like being at home, then you got to change the reason why. What is the reason why you don't like being at home? Because I come across a lot of women who be like, oh, I get bored. I don't, any excuse to find a way to be like, oh, I like working. And stop lying. No woman likes working. No woman, especially a single mother. They don't like working. They're lying. Because if they have the opportunity to get paid to be at home without having to do anything, they will take it. They will take it. And that's a woman who wants to be in her feminine energy. A woman who doesn't, she's going to be like, no, I need to make my own money. Okay, well then this is not for you. But for women who are just tired and want to just rest, you got to start being more selfish. You just have to. You just got to have to learn how to be more selfish. You see, y'all see, right? Women who not used to hearing those words, they don't even know what to do with it. That's not for me. I can't be selfish. No. And they get taken advantage of all the time. So, you know what? And that's them, right? But for women who naturally want to be in her feminine energy, she will understand the things I'm saying here. She will understand that these are logical things that she could do. But she has to get her mind right. She has to believe that she will receive. She has to, it's everything is attraction. Everything. What you put out there, you're going to get back. So you put out good vibrations, you get it back. When you send out hate, you get hate back. It's law. No matter what, it's the law. Somebody who wants to, and like I said, somebody wants to make your life easier, by all means. This will help you get into that receiving mode, feminine energy. But I know working it's not going to help any woman out there, especially as a single mother. It's it's already a job. Anytime, my child would ask me for something, I'd be like, ask your father. That's it. Ask your father. If they don't feel comfortable asking their father, then shoot, don't ask me either. Ask your father. Men have to be working. Men are not the ones that's supposed to be at home. Y'all, I couldn't even believe this. I actually typed stay at home mothers. I actually typed that in Google the other day. Tell me why there was a picture of a man at home holding a child. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Ugh, my goodness. I seen it the other day. I seen this when I was at the park, and I was there and I was recording and I was going live. There were like three fathers in the park. There was more men than there was women. So if the father is at the park, most likely, and the fathers were young, most likely the mother's at work. You know, it's backwards. It's backwards. But for women who, especially single mothers, you have to understand. You have to understand that this is the easiest way to get into your feminine energy. And when you can get into your feminine energy, you're not feeling anxiety about the future. You're not thinking about the past. Just live right now. Sometimes, you know what? Like, if you got to cut back on paying debts or paying off school fees or whatever the case is, hey, sometimes it's better that way. So that's more money in your pocket. I feel like, me personally, I feel like going to school is a waste of time. That's what I feel like. I feel it's a waste of time, especially, as a mother. It's just, a lot of mothers feel like they got to go back to school to better education, to work. And end up, guess what? They end up attracting a man who's going to take their resources. That's what ended up happening. Because when you work and you end up getting a career, and in that career, you end up feeling like you have to, because you got to pay off the school that you used to get that career. So you could avoid any debt. By all means, not going to school is one of them. That's just what it is. There's nothing you can't learn how to do at home. I'm telling you, school is the biggest waste of time ever. It really is. It really is. It really is, And then our parents are the ones who are telling us, "Hey, go to school, go to school." But it didn't do nothing, because all going to school taught my parents was to work for other people. It teaches you how to be a slave, right? It teaches you how to be a slave to somebody else. That's what it teaches you. I'm like, but y'all still, and it's not even just to be like, oh. But oh, gosh, man, I feel like I gotta keep going. There's so many topics. I just feel, whenever I feel inspired, I would just say whatever's on my mind. But anyways, um, yeah, someone might feel some type of ways. It doesn't really matter to me at this point. I got to the point where when somebody gets offended or feel bothered or triggered or whatever, it just rolls off my back, because it's like, when someone is not taught something and they don't know how to find something else to replace what they were taught with, they just become angry or whatever the case is, and it doesn't do nothing. But I know one thing: going to school, that's a waste of time and waste of money. It really is. You're a single mom, You already, that is like, that's it. Just, find ways to attract what you want. And it's not even just feeling happy is how you attract money into your life. It's just being happy with what you have, being happy with yourself, not criticizing yourself, not complaining. If you gain a little bit of weight from having a child, then find ways, what you can do to lose it. There's so much things that can help you to lose it. But it's discipline, and it's also a mindset, a mental strength that you got to do. But for the most part, anything's possible, and you can attract anything you want in life when you raise your vibration. Be happy right now. Don't forget about the future, forget about the past. Be happy right now. Maybe you like to dance, maybe you like to draw, maybe you like to paint, maybe you like to do something that makes you happy. Someone will be like, well, I like making money. That's what makes me happy. I like receiving it more than having to do anything to get it. That's what I like. Anytime I have to do something, work or anything to try to get money, that it's resistance. I'm like, no. I'd rather just sit at home, chill, and let the money come in. I'd rather accept money from assistance than feel like I gotta go leave my house to go work just to get paid 2 weeks later. Nope. I'd rather be at home. I'd rather be at home and use the money I get to manage whatever I need to, pay or whatever the case is. And that's it. I just live as simple as I possibly can. That's all. It's the best way for me. Yep. You following saying how you feel is correct. More women need to be in touch with their feelings. Yeah. This is how you attract. This is how you attract. I'm telling you. Every time you nag, every time you complain, you push your desires farther and farther away from you. When you're going online to try to find somebody, that's resistance, because it's not easy. You're trying to filter. And let me tell you, masculine men are not on dating sites. And those are the type of men that single mothers actually should desire, is a masculine man. They're not on dating sites. Sometimes you got to just go for a walk and just be in your own energy. Just embrace your own energy. Just be happy. When you're happy, you attract. You can't attract anything positive from a place of lack, from a place of desperation. You can't attract anything. You got to be happy right now. Get into meditation. Like I said, your bedroom will be your sanctuary where you can meditate and you can actually be able to get everything that you actually need. The universe already knows what you want. Don't leave the house looking crazy. Okay? Don't depend on anything, or someone to make you happy. If you're going to find something to be happy about, it should start with you first. I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy I have air in my lungs. I'm happy I can walk. I'm happy I could see. I'm happy I could, be happy with what you have. I'm happy for my curves. I'm happy for this belly. This belly done gave birth to a child, to children. Focus on the things that makes you feel good. And if there's a thought or a person that doesn't make you feel good, you got to distance yourself from that. I'm telling you, a lot of the people, especially the ones that you see who feel like they got to prove something, especially if they have a large YouTube following or large Instagram or anything like that, you gotta limit yourself off of those. Because I'm telling you, it's just, I know a woman, like I know so many single mothers that's what they just live on social media. They just on there. They just, it's like a drug. And I'm telling you, it's where the world's unhappiest people are at. That's their playground, because they feel like they gotta prove, hey, look how happy I am because I have this man in my life, or I have this, or I'm working this job, or I'm selling this product. Look how happy. It's a lie. It's a lie. Anything that takes work is going against nature for a woman. And when you want to be in your feminine energy, you can't follow the woman that make you feel inadequate, or whatever the case is. Your confidence will come when you actually just focus on yourself and only pay attention to things that are positive, things that make you feel good. Being rich is a state of mind. Being wealthy is a state of mind. You can't say, "Oh, I don't have any money, so that means I have to dress poor." It's like, no, you're rich. Dress like it. Dress like how you feel. If you feel good, your clothes is gonna reflect that. Don't do things that's gonna make you feel tired. If it feels like it's going against you, then don't do it. It's okay to be lazy. It's okay. To me personally, I don't think a woman can be lazy. Shoot. Being a woman, it is what it is. Don't engage with people that are, in lower vibrations than you. Naturally, you wouldn't even want them around. And they themselves will just pull away from you. If you have a friend that just is just complete opposite, you don't see yourself and her going to the same place, like in life, then naturally they'll distance themselves. When they see, okay, she's on a different vibration, naturally they'll distance themselves. I'm telling you. This is factual. Anyways, I guess yeah. Oh gosh, honestly, at the end of the day, like, I know this message will go to those it needs to go to, and I know it will help those that it can help. I'm like I said, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy that I was able to give birth 3 times. I'm very grateful for that. Like, that to me, that's a gift. This is a gift that I give to this world, was my children. It's a gift. You did your job. Okay, you don't gotta do nothing else. You gotta do nothing extra. The father asks, "Oh, you're not working?" No. You don't even gotta explain yourself. They're not gonna get it. No one's gonna understand you. Right? You can even tell another mother this. And this happened to me. This happened to me a few months ago. This single mother, cat lady, whatever. And there's 2 of them that were there, and I was like, oh, and I said this. I said, oh, I love the idea of not having to work, blah blah blah. And because they were suffering from mental illness, and I'm sorry, that's what it is when a woman chooses to want to work versus being at home. She's suffering, right? So anyways, I was like, yo, I don't want to. She completely was like, she felt like that was the worst thing I could have ever said, was just be like, yo, I'd rather have men make my life easier by giving me money than me having to go work for it. She's like, oh, I can't see that for myself. No, not me. I just, no, I don't like the idea of a man giving me money. What? Right when I heard that, I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay. Right now, I'm in the wrong place. Shoot. Once I hear a woman say something like that, I know she's not okay. She's not okay. She's talking about, oh, I don't want a man give me no money. Yo, I know you're lying. I know you are lying. I'm telling you, you single mom and you don't want to take no man's money. Yeah, there's something wrong with you. I just, at that point, I was like, yeah, I just stopped the conversation. I didn't engage anymore. I didn't say nothing else. I didn't go like, well, as a woman, you're supposed to be. I didn't say nothing. I kept it silent. I waited for my ride and I dipped. I was left. And I know when I say I don't plan on seeing these women ever again, that's what it is. But when she said that, I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, no, sweetheart. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. A woman who feels ways, she feels some type of ways accepting money from a man. I don't know. I just know that something is not clicking upstairs. Because let me tell you, men would never, especially a man that is not in uh uh his masculine energy, he would never say no to money. Ever. A woman says, here, I was thinking about you, here's $400. He's not gonna be like, oh no, you take it for you. You have a child. You accept it yourself. No, no, no. He'll be like, oh shoot, thank you. He'll take it glad for you, like, thank you. Because he's already used to it. His mother already made him used to accepting money from him, from her. So he's used to it. That's why I say when a woman's in her feminine energy, she's receiving. She's always, yep. She got her hand out. You need help? Yes. Can I do this for you? Yes. Yes. Shoot, I'm telling you. Male children gotta work. They gotta work always. They just don't have the time to be on video games. When we buy video games for male children, it just feminizes them. It's just, oh my God, it feminizes them so much. Have you been around a male child who's playing a game and they lose or they get beaten or, oh God, they want to throw the controller and they get all, he's like, what? No, I'm telling you, they do not need to be playing no video systems. They just don't need to play it. Like, they want to go on, if they want to, do some other, find some other technology. But I'm telling you, these systems, they make male children so feminine. They make them so feminine. And I'm telling you, a lot of them grow up to be so insecure because they're comparing themselves so much. So like a male child, they always got to be doing some type of work, something. They always got to be doing something. I need you to clean this. I need you to do that. I need you to do this. They always got to be doing something. Them playing a video game should be a treat. And that's like once in a full moon, like, here, you get to play. Oh my God, not all the time. That should be a treat. That's what it is. It should be a treat, not something like they get used to, because I'm telling you, I know how it is. Speaking from as a mother with 2 girls and 1 male child. Yeah. And when the father, since the father is present, they actually, like, the children live with their fathers. So that's just what it is. It gives me more time for myself. Yep, these video games feminize boys on purpose. Seen them with my own eyes. They belong somewhere working. Yeah. Always have, once a child is old enough to hold things and you going out grocery shopping, whatever, me personally, I rather do that without them, because they want to ask you for all type of things. Going grocery shopping with children as a woman, oh my God. Oh my goodness. It's a struggle. Don't take them with you. That's another thing. Don't take them with you to the store. Go grocery shopping on the days that you're when they're at school or whatever the case is, but don't take them with you. That's another way where men, see women by themselves and like, oh, she's probably a single mom. She here with the children. she's shopping, and then you see them, you see those mothers shopping. That's just the struggle life, like it's better to hire help. If that woman is gonna, if she wants to disregard and be like, I'm gonna work regardless, then okay, well then hire some help. That's what you can do, hire some help. But I don't know, at the end of the day, I just feel once a woman is working and she has to take care of children, yeah, it's just no, you know. But you see them, you see those mothers, y'all. Oh my God, when they're at the grocery store, it's a struggle. I remember when I used to talk to my girl and I was like, yo, why did you take your child grocery shopping? Because you end up not only you end up buying more food, but you end up buying junk food because they make all the junk food at eye level for children while they're walking. Mom, can I have this? Mom, I want a toy. Mommy, then it's just like no. And then they see you doing that. I'd rather have be like, yeah, like don't even make them believe you have a job. Just be like, yeah, my dad sent me some money, so I'm gonna go buy this, but always make it seem like some male figure gave you the money you have. That's it. I'm telling you, you just gotta learn to be selfish. Anyways, that is my time. I feel like I touched all the bases, but at the end of the day, a mother is going to do what she wants to do. But if she wants to become more feminine, working, selling, doing business, all of that, it's just going against nature. It really is. It's not, it's going against nature, just struggling. Like you said, baby queen, paying the bills is not enough. A man just paying the bills is not enough. They gotta just pay. They gotta be taking care of way more things. They gotta be giving you money on top of that too. So you don't have to feel the need to go to work. And until then, you can attract it by being in a positive vibration. Just be happy. Be in appreciative mode. Stop finding things to complain about, 5 things to be happy about. Instead of complaining about, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Focus on what you do have. That's how you can shift your mindset. Be like, oh, at least I got a place, I got a bed to sleep on. I got this, I got that. I'm grateful because there's somebody in the world who would switch places with you in a heartbeat. There's always somebody who wish they can be in the same position you're in right now. Some women are like, oh, I don't want to work. They wish they can just be at home. And there's some women who are mothers, who are at home, who do have help. They don't have no stress. I'm telling you, being a single mother shouldn't be stressful. You should be able to chill. You should be able to relax. You should be able to do that too. Because I tell you what, stress does not exist in my vocabulary. I just nothing for me to complain about at all. I'm always feeling like I'm chilling. I don't gotta go anywhere or go out of my way. I don't gotta do nothing. It's so much more peaceful. Like literally, just focusing on myself has been the most peaceful thing I could ever do. Naturally, children want to draw. They want to draw to you. They want to come around you when you're so focused on you. They need to see you giving to yourself. That's what they need. They need to see you giving to yourself. I'm telling you. Oh, I'm telling you, this is like the best thing ever. Some women even wish they were single mothers. I'm telling you, okay, because they know how much easier it is. Where we could just sit here and just be like, sometimes we can use a child. Oh, you know what? I ain't got a babysitter. I can't go out. Whatever. You can't come over. My child is here. That's if they met you with the child. But If a man you come across did not meet you with a child, don't mention them. They don't need to know. It's not their business. It's not their business. It doesn't matter if you're like, oh, well, I don't want to lie about it. Well, you know what? Let me tell you. You, as the mother, have the right to protect your child by any means necessary. So, if lying about you having a child to protect them, to kind of get an idea what type of man this person is, then yeah, you have that right. Who's gonna judge you? No one can judge you. Okay? The only person who can judge you is you. No one has walked in your shoes. No one has gone through what you went through. Nobody has gone through that. So nobody can make you feel ways about you. If somebody don't like you, that's none of your business. They don't like something about you, that is none of your business. You can't make everybody happy. Okay? I sure don't even try. I don't even try to make nobody. That's a lot of work. Being Krusty the Clown on here, be like, oh hey, doo-doo, look at me. Like, no, anybody, who got time for that? Who has time for that? Oh my God, it's just like, no, I sure don't. The only person that it's so much easier to make happy is me. It's so much easier to make myself happy because I know what makes me happy. So it's a lot easier. But trying to make everybody else happy, it's a lot of work. You got, especially when I said as a mom and you have children, oh, I gotta make 5 other people happy. What? And if you have a spouse, anyways, this is, like I said, this is for single mothers who, or maybe I should write unwedded mothers. Maybe that's what I should change my title to, unwedded mothers. But but anyways, yeah, I get so passionate about this topic because, like, at the end of the day, I know how it feels when you're just trying to, you feel like you're searching for an answer for something, and you're like, maybe this was just the answer you needed to hear. Maybe you even thought about, I should quit my job. I don't even like working. I don't like my boss. I don't like, maybe I should quit. I'd be so much happier. Maybe maybe I should cut back on this. Maybe not, always buying food outside. Eating processed foods all the time can do something to you. Always eating out can do something to your digestives. And if you're not getting rid of the toxins that you're eating, causes inflammatory, all type of, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of things. That's why I said, when you get your mind right, everything else follows. Everything else falls into place. A woman asks, oh, how do I make money if I'm not working? It's like, by attracting it. How do I attract it? By being in a good vibration. How do I get being in a good vibration? Be happy. How do I be happy? Find something that you appreciate of. That's it. It's just that simple. What do you have around you that you appreciate? And if there's nothing around you that you can appreciate, then that is on you. But I'm pretty sure every single person, especially the ones I'm talking to in this chat, can find something around them that they appreciate, that they can be happy for and happy about. Exactly. There are some women who are married and single mothers. Exactly. So you know what? I'm baby queen, you're right. I'm gonna keep it this way because I know they want to click in and be like, well, I'm not a single mother, but let me see what she has to say. Like, if you're working, yeah, you single. That's just what it is. You can't sit here and say you got a man and you working. Like, that don't make no sense. That's not even possible. That is not even possible. Because it's like you either feminine or a feminist. A feminist, they got something to prove. A feminine woman, they got nothing to prove. The two are not the same. You see a woman like, oh, of course there's, we still have testosterone, but it increases a lot more when you're working or doing business or selling, debating, or anything like that. That increases. The little testosterone you have left is just to care for yourself. You don't even have to go pay to go to a gym. Work out at home. Work out at home. Like I said, cut your costs down so you don't feel like you got to work to pay and keep up with everything else. Be like, I got to show that I'm not struggling by paying, by going to work. It's like, but you end up still struggling. Make it make sense. You go to work thinking like you're not going to struggle, but you're still struggling. So working is not making a difference. Because then now you're working, you feel you got to work more. Look at all the women who go to work. You see how miserable they are? Y'all see it. Some of y'all probably are that. It's just, especially when it comes to customer service, they don't want to deal with it. They're just like, even when I try to buy business things from a woman's business, and it's just like, and I'm not saying this happens all the time, of course, obviously not, but sometimes they get, they the type of materials that they use is not the quality. I don't know, because they like to cheat out. And that's what I find with female businesses. They like to cheat out women a lot. This is what they do a lot. They cheat and scam women a lot. Those masculine women I'm telling you. I remember this woman who was selling something. You should have seen the product that she was selling. I was just like, what? How could you expect people to buy this? This looks like trash. I'm sorry. Like, what? What is this? So yeah. Women have the choice. Like, again, complaining is not going to change the situation. It's not going to change the situation. Any woman out here that's complaining, especially mothers, it's not going to change the situation. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you're going through. Okay? I'm telling you right now, nobody cares. Most of the percentage people want to hear you about your problems, don't care, and or the other percent are happy you're in them. Nobody cares how miserable you feel working or going to school or anything like that. Nobody cares. You did that to yourself. Either find a way to find something that's going to raise your vibration, be happy about, or simply just do you. But no one cares about hearing your complaints. And I always say this, be wary of that. Because women, they'll complain about the situation that they put themselves in. It's like, you kind of, set that up. You know what I mean? You kind of did that yourself. Like, I remember this girl, some guy tried to take advantage of her or whatever. And it was like, but then she basically set it up for that to happen. She knew the guy was not the greatest, like, I guess, potential person to be with. She knew that, but she still dealt with him. And then it was like, well, what do you expect when you deal with unsavory characters? What do you expect, right? So taking responsibility for your life is just key. Anyways, but gosh, I spoke so much. I don't feel no ways, because I know, I know there's a lot of single mothers out here who are at home, who don't work, who enjoy just listening to facts and just understanding, like, because they've been there. Especially if you've seen your mother struggling. Some women think, well, my mom was struggling because she didn't go to school, so I'm gonna go to school. My mom was struggling because she didn't go to work, so I'm gonna go to work. And it's like, no, it's because your mom didn't know how to use her own potential. That's all it was. or use her feminine energy or her pretty privilege, whatever. That's it. That's why you see a lot of women are working, because they feel like, oh, their mother struggled, so they have to, they got to outdo their mother or whatever the case is. I'm like, no. I'm not trying to outdo my mother. She wants to do what she's doing. That's on her. I have no desire to work as hard as her or to work to be like her. That is not mine. Never been me. Anyways, let me get out of here. I said what I said. Y'all, ladies, be happy. Be in receiving mode. Okay? Be in receiving mode. Be in receiving mode. That is the best thing you can do. And as always, ladies, I appreciate each and every I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming in. Thank you very much. Till next time, ladies, stay divine.